But what are they going to do? Play even more cards? We'll see if they sing Whole New World right here. It's probably what they're gearing up to do, especially if they know they have Hiram. They use an Ariel that lets them look for a song. Look at the top 4. If they find a song, they get Whole New World. Let's see if they sing it and disrupt our whole flow. They do sing Whole New World here. This is the list that won the $10,000 Pixelborn tournament that just happened a couple days ago. 10,000 big ones, and it was a ruby blue list. And it plays this Grammatala. If you're not playing this Grammatala, you probably should. It's a big winner. Having a 3/3 body on board is a good deal. That's not the back button I wanted to press. Here's a different view. No, first of all, you can screenshot this. Also, the link is in the description of this video. You can go check out this build, and then you can go to Menu, Export as Pixelborn, copy to clipboard, and then you can paste it into your Pixelborn. It's that easy to play this deck. This is the big one that won. This is it as pictures. It's got 1 Judy Hops to mostly banish other people's dimes. It's got Scar for that late game removal, which is crazy. It's got Hades, which is also late game removal, and just a whole bunch of late game removal. You want to get up to high ink numbers. We're talking like 14 ink with this deck. And then you're just going to pop off every turn. All these decks always have 4 Hiram and 4 Popsicles. This deck is cool because it has some Shield of Virtues to help protect your Hirams. It's got 4 Fishbone Quills that all of them should, and it plays the 1 jump ahead. It's a 2-cost song, which you can sing with lots of cards. You can even sing it with Queen of Hearts. So without further ado, let's get into it. The things that we learned in this video, this deck is an optimized red-blue. It's better than your home brew. That's just my take, but I believe it. If you're looking to play your own version of red-blue or this version of red-blue, I'd probably pick this version of red-blue. It's optimized. They did the work. They won the 10K. This is why it's the list. Number 2, Tamatoa Dime be like, wow, oh, wow. You know that Usher song? Maybe he should have been talking about Tamatoa Dime. And then 3rd, more practice with this deck would be a good idea. If you're looking to learn more stuff about Lorcana, you should probably practice with this deck list. Then you learn the opposition. You get to learn more about red-blue. You learn more about the late game, what options they're going for. Definitely more practice with this deck is something that I'm going to be doing. I haven't come across anybody else playing this, so let's see if we get paired with the exact same deck. I'm excited to test out this deck. I haven't been playing the ones with 2 dimes. I've been playing the deck with 1 dime. 2 dime looks like the way to go. It's Steel Song, which is probably Steel Song's worst matchup, is to go against this deck. So that's good news bears for us. We don't like lots of what we got. So we're going to throw back most of this hand. We're keeping Develop Your Brain and we're keeping Popsicle. And all the rest of it is going by the wayside. We get a Hades early, which is okay, like I guess. We can ink it with Fishbone Quill. We get Fishbone and Hiram line, and that is a dub, I think. Yeah, there's not too much that we're fishing for here. So we're going to go ahead and ink Develop Your Brain and play Popsicle to get to draw a card turn 2. Going turn 2 is a disadvantage. But this is definitely Steel Song's worst matchup. They ink a Strength of the Raging Fire, and do they play something? They play a Simba, so this is probably the Pride Lands version. Or it's Rockstar Stitch Flood, which would be super cool to see and get dunked on that way. We go ahead and do what we talked about. We're going to ink our Develop Your Brain and play our Pop the Sickle. We get to draw a card with Popsicle. It's another Let It Go, which isn't what we want to see this early in the game, but it's okay with us. I think we're going to go ahead and ink Let It Go next turn. Turn 2, they ink a Stitch, which it does look like the Rockstar Stitch build, which could be fun for them to see. They play a Robbity Bobbity. Do they quest it out? Questing is a mistake here because I can rush Queen. But they don't know that. And here comes the Rush Queen to take out the Simba Cub. And then we pass turn there because there's not much else we want to do. Turn 3, we're going to play the Fishbone and ink the Hades. And then we'll also probably ink another Let It Go. TBH. Maybe we should save the Let It Go for Rockstar Stitch when it makes an appearance. We'll see if they play it. Ooh, we could save it for Robbity Bobbity there, which is going to be a problem on board for a while. We get a Queen of Hearts that do 2 damage, so we're okay getting rid of it for now. We put down our Fishbone and go ahead and ink our Hades like we talked about. And we pass turn. Next turn we'll be able to ink and play Let It Go. And that'll be okay with us. It lets them have some ramp. But what are they going to do? Play even more cards? We'll see if they sing Whole New World right here. It's probably what they're gearing up to do, especially if they know they have Hiram. They use an Ariel that lets them look for a song. Look at the top 4. If they find a song, they get Whole New World. Let's see if they sing it and disrupt our whole flow. They do sing Whole New World here. They had Pride Lands and Zeus. Seeing the Zeus gone is good for us. Tamatoa and Queen. Probably ink Queen here. It got rid of our Hiram, and that makes us so sad. Do we really just get your boy out and ink? I think so. That's what we want to do. We're going to get your boy out. Maui, one of the islands in Hawaii. The big one. They get to draw a card, but they already had 7 in hand. What's another card going to do for them? We ink 1 jump. We ink develop. And then we can play a pop. And that gets us a pop. And we'll pass our turn. We could play Tamatoa next turn, but that wouldn't help us. Playing out the dime would be cool, but they probably got a Benja or Rise of Titans to banish one of our items. So playing it early when they have all those cards in hand might not be the best idea. But we'd love to set up... Oh, they use Bare Necessities. Are they going to get rid of dime here? You bet they are. And they paid for it. They didn't even sing it. So they got other plans to deal with their Maui. Do they get rid of dime? Yeah, they do. Adios, dime. We'll see you never. But there are 2 dimes in this deck, and that's okay with us. They play Grab Your Swords, and they sing it. That gets rid of your boy. They have 3 ink. That could be a Smee and a Hook. Or a Smee and a Captain, what's his name? Robin Hood. It is a Bodyguard Prince, the 2 lore. Boy. I like the Medusa here. I like the Medusa a lot here. Go ahead and Medusa that Ariel. What singer where? You're not singing anytime soon. Does he have resist 2 or resist 1? He has resist 1. Fishbone 1 jump ahead, and then we'll Popsicle to draw a card. Don't mind if I do. It's another Tamatoa. Do we put Tamatoa in the ink? We're not going to play 2 of them. We're not that crazy. We might be that crazy, folks. We might be that crazy. We have 4 Popsicle on board. That's literally 1 for every day of the week if you have a 4-day week. I have 6 cards in hand and 5 ink. They ink a Queen, the big one. And they play a Queen. Surprise! We're okay with letting all of them live. Tamatoa comes out. He could be a target, but they'd have to do a lot of stuff. When he comes into play, we get to get back our dime. Don't mind if I do. And we can go ahead and ink our Grand Metallic because we're scared of a Whole New World. Especially because they know that we got back our dime. Take out their 2 lore machine. Yup. And pass the turn. Right? Tamatoa gets a quest for 6 next turn. Or is it actually 5? It's 5 plus 1, so it's 6. If I put out dime, it'll be 7, and I could use dime. Ooh, Benja gets to get rid of one of our items. Too bad, so sad. It's Fishbone Quill, but don't worry. Tamatoa is going to get it back by questing. And we'll see if they have lots of damaging spells to take out our Tamatoa. Which I don't think they will. They're scared. We get lots of lore next turn. That's the math that I just did. We play the dime. Then we get to exert the dime to gain 6 lore. And then we quest it out to gain another 6 lore. And then we get to get back our Fishbone Quill. Do we ink it? I think we do. And then we quest it out again. So that was lots of lore in one turn. That was the math we just did. Lots of lore, one turn. They quested out with the queen. That gives our Tamatoa -3 attack. Puts them to 1 attack. And gives their Benja more attack. And they go ahead and attack it. And then if they sing Friends on the Other Side, oh, they Zeus it. Good for them. They ink a Rockstar Stitch. Love to see it. And they play a Pride Lands. And a Simba. And they could be set up for the stuff next turn. So do we be prepared now? Nah. We go ahead and Tremaine. They get to choose one. They choose Simba, which is what we were hoping. We can go ahead and play Develop Our Brain here. We would love to see Maui, but we love Fishbone Quill. Fishbone Quill seems pretty cool to have another item on board. And we just take out Queen here. Oh, that means that we can't exert our dime. Weird move, but it's what happened. And we pass the turn. It was a bad move to play the Quill and not exert the dime. Big misplay. Don't do what I did. Don't play your Quill to play a fish bill. No, that's not how that works. Is Benja royalty? Is Benja a king? Yeah, he is. Benja at Pride Lands makes cards cost 1 less. Cool. I haven't seen that before. Benja's a king, and then Pride Lands ability is if you have a prince or a king character, you pay 1 less. They put out the Rockstar Stitch, which is a huge menace. And if this is a 1-drop, they could keep it going, but they don't, sadly. So sad. We'll quest with our queen, quest our dime to gain 2 more lore, and then we wipe the board. All of them are gone. Then we pass the turn. This deck is easy dubs. If you want the easy dubs, play this deck. Especially against Steel Song. There's lots of Steel Songs at your locals. You're going to want to play the blue-red. It makes them have a bad time. Cinderella goes to Pride Lands. Give her 4 willpower. We'll develop our brain first. We get a Gaston, and that is game. We put out our Gaston. Ooh, a dime. Don't mind if I do. And then we can just use the dime to gain 3 lore off of Gaston. And that is a dub in the bag. We'll do one more. See if it was just a fluke. But it's the 10K winner for a reason. We get paired against Sapphire Steel, which is also one of the other top decks for this 10K tournament. We're definitely going to throw back our Be Prepared. We like the Popsicle, we like the Grandma, and we like the Queen. Yes, Queen. We get a Hades and a Scar, but no Fishbone or Hiram. It's not looking the best for us. But good thing we get extra draw with Popsicle. We're playing against Mr. Doc Foster, who has one of the coolest Pixelborn icon things there is. They play Develop Your Brain, which is almost as good as Popsicle, but not. I'd rather have a Popsicle on board. We'll go ahead and ink a queen here. Maui's are too good. And then we play a Popsicle that lets us draw a card. We get one jump ahead. Don't mind if I use that next turn as our only ramping ability. They ink a Robin Hood. Love to see it. And play a Popsicle. Wow. They know what's good. We have to ink a Maui this turn. Sadly. I guess we could ink the thing, but we'll probably have to use her next turn. And then we one jump ahead. It puts the top card of our deck into our Inkwell face down and exerted. They can go up to 3 ink, which is definitely going to be their Fishbone Quill, because why wouldn't they? It's the best turn 3 for Sapphire. They ink Tamatoa. Adios, Mr. Crab. And it's the Fishbone Quill. Nope, it's one jump ahead. We take those. We have a whole lot of uninkables, but we have Grandma. Grandma is a Develop Your Brain with a 3/3 body, which is cool. We want to get Tamatoa because it's inkable, ? And pass the turn. We need inkable cards because we don't have any of our items. So Tamatoa's gotta go into the ink. We couldn't have another Tremaine there. That'd be bad for us. They ink a Benja, which is cool that they're not going to banish our Popsicle. It's weird that they want to take that away, but maybe they got some big plans. They got big plans with Cogsworth. We got to Develop Your Brain, but we want to go ahead and put a Maui out on board, right? Right? Because that guarantees us a thing that we played. We're going to play Develop Your Brain to draw a Develop Your Brain. And then we're going to play a Develop Your Brain to draw a Popsicle. And then we're going to use the Popsicle to draw a card. And it's going to be Prepared. And then, like I said, we got to ink Tamatoa. She quests for 3 because we want... It's free. It's free real estate. We pass the turn. Free lore. Who's got the most lore in this game? This guy. This guy's got the most lore. They banish their Popsicle and they get to draw 2 cards. Huge advantage. I think we're at the same card count right now. So okay with us. But we're going to get to... Do they choose? When you play this character, banish chosen opponent. We get to choose. So we play Medusa to banish their Hiram next turn. They grab your swords and it puts some damage onto our Grandma. Not our Grandma. And then the cannons our Grandma. Not our Grandma! The big scary dragons going into the Inkwell. The big scary... this guy is taking out that Cogsworth for surezies. And we passed turn. We could have done that another way and saved the inkable card here. Like we could have Medusa, and then they would have had to. I would have had to choose that, and then I would Tremaine, and then they would have to choose the other one. But they do put a thing on board, and then they Zeus it. I think we might just wipe them next turn. Oh, I could Scar. We have nothing inkable. It's crazy. They get to choose one to get rid of. If they choose Tinkerbell, that'd be cool for us. They don't. Should have played that the different way. Should have played a Tremaine first, and then Medusa. Should have played Medusa first and then Tremaine. Then they would have had to take out Hiram, and then they would have had to chose her. Whole New World, we take those. We get a Dime, a Gaston, a Tamatoa, a Dragon, Grandma, Hiram, and Be Prepared. They ink, and we'll see if they play something for 5. They play a Popsicle, then they could still use their Hiram here. They ink, and they have 5 to use. They play a Robin here, or a Beast Tragic Hero. We're going to Be Prepared on. It is a Mr. Smee. We only have 1 Be Prepared gone. That'd be second Be Prepared. Want to save our dragons at this point. Tremaine does 4. Sing Let It Go. That gives them more ink, but that's okay with us. Do we ink a Grandma here? You bet we ink a Grandma here. And that's it for us. Weird turn, but okay. We're really hoping to get like a Fishbone or anything to help us get up to the higher ink like that. They play a Popsicle to get to draw a card. They ink something with their Fishbone. We know that they ain't got no Be Prepared. We know that we have all the Be Prepared. They play Tamatoa, which is Be Prepared worthy. Quest and Banish Popsicle. Dragon and a Fishbone. That would have been nice, but we have to be prepared here. We can't risk the Tamatoa being out for that long. We could ink the Fishbone here. Quester out. We do what we said. We wipe the board clean. What Tamatoa? You played a Tamatoa? I didn't see a Tamatoa. And then we play a Popsicle to get to draw a card. They could Whole New World us here, but that's okay. If they play a Dime, we have Judy Hopps now, and that is major. That's such a good draw for us. Because we definitely could see the Dime come out this next turn. They play a Robin Hood and a Cogsworth. We get a Hiram Flaversham. We can afford to ink a dragon here. And then we're going to go ahead, play a dragon, and get rid of their thing. Do we ink anything here? Not a chance. I think we already inked the dragon this turn. We pass turn. They play another Popsicle. That's all 4 on board. And they play Develop Your Brain. More like Develop Our Brain. Together, they play Hiram the Flaversham, who gets to banish a Popsicle and draw 2 more cards. Could be a Zeus for our dragon that we see. How many Zeuses are they down? Ooh, they let it go to our dragon. We've seen 1 Zeus, so they have plenty of Zeuses to come. They ink with their Fishbone. We get a Tamatoa. We're going to go ahead and Dragon the Flaversham. Do we ink here? think we do. We like having more ink. Because we could play Tamatoa and Hierometric if we ink. Playing Tinkerbell does 1 damage to us. And then they play a Belle who's at full power now. And a Benjo, which gets to banish our Popsicle. And that means that they're at no hand. So we need to figure something out. We get Maui, which doesn't help us. So I think Maui might be ink. Not right now. We have to play Gaston here. Gaston should let us find a card that we would want. They can't quest. That looks like it'd be good. Ink Hiram. Play another Gaston. Fishbone's okay with us. They get 11 lore next turn. And they could take out our dragon. We'll see. We can get 8 lore next turn. They go ahead and ink. They quest with their Belle. And quest there. 5, 6. If I wipe the board now, it gets rid of their things and they have nothing in hand. And I like that option. It also lets us play nothing. What could we do? We could take out all of them. Tinkerbell stays. Yeah, we quest it out and wipe the board. I think that's what we have to do. Because we could take out some stuff, but then they'd still have bodies on board. Do we get out Judy Hopps here to banish one of their items? Sure thing. Oh, they get to draw a card? Bad idea, bub. And put out a popsicle for us. We get to develop your brain. We like developed brains. And we'll just put out a shield. $13 ink can be Tamatoa and that. How much is that? That's 12 ink. Big decisions are coming up. These are the moves that determine the game here. They go ahead and ink with their Fishbone Quill. And they play Whole New World, which was major for them. We gotta check how many Be Prepareds we're down. 1, 2, 3. We have 13 cards left in deck. For 16th, we could play Tinkerbell. Does Medusa get around with it while you're playing Banish Chosen opposing character? She does not get around it. So we let it go on that ting. We get Dime out now and then Tamatoa later. To quest for 2. And Tamatoa would win us the game next turn. If they don't Whole New World us, Tamatoa wins us the game next year. And we like that. They could also dime right now. But they couldn't play 2 dimes. They could play 2 dimes, but they couldn't quest both dimes. They play Grab Your Swords, gets rid of our precious Judy Hopps. Unless they have a Benja, we win the game. They whole new world, and that gets rid of our Tamatoa. That was our plan. That was our hope. And we don't have game on board anymore. They do Lucky Diamond. They do get to exert it. Is that all of our Tamatoas in the trash? 1, 2, and I think we put a third into the ink. Oh, did they get us good? How many Tamatoas does this list run? It runs all 4. We still have hope. Your turn is be prepared. We take those. We have 4 cards left in deck. We know that the bottom 2 aren't Tamatoa. 6 and 2, we can't do that. Hiram lets us draw 2. If we play that, we can't use the dime. If we play Hiram and draw 2, we can still use the dime. Puts us to 2 cards in deck, 1 jump ahead in Grammatala. So we know that guaranteed we don't have Tamatoa on the bottom. We know what the other ones are. We know it's a 1 jump ahead and something else. $17, $18, $19, $20. If they don't kill that, we could win with Dime still on board, but they gotta have a Benja. Let's just look at the top 2. We would go down to 1 card in deck. That's crazy. This is a crazy game. They have 4 cards. We have 2 cards. They play a Lucky Dime. And if they play Bell, they got it. They play Tinkerbell, which isn't Bell. Oh, cool. How'd they do that? Were they only at 18? I don't know. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it's late game, big brain plays. They play lots of whole new worlds there, and we only had 2 cards in deck. If they didn't get rid of that Tamatoa there, we definitely had it in the bag. But they played harder than us.